Welcome back and hello if you are new, guys. I hope that all of you are doing really well. As I'm sure you probably noticed last week, I didn't upload a video because I was at my best mate's wedding in Turkey. It was all pretty crazy, but yeah, basically I just did not have the time. I was also best man, so I had a lot of other things that I needed to do. Just before the world was plunged into COVID madness, Dream Theater had literally finished their Dream Theater HQ. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but one of the big things about Distance Over Time was the fact that they were able to write, together, they lived together. It was very much kind of like almost a Dream Theater commune. So this was kind of keeping that same idea because they had somewhere that they could all go, but, perhaps more over Zoom and, things like that. But that didn't stop them in creating their 15th album, which is A View from the Top of the World. Thematically, I feel like this album definitely has an idea or like a kind of common thread of the idea of exploration. So on the Alien, that's all about terraforming and, moving to other planets where we actually become the alien. Sleeping Giant is about embracing your dark side, and then you've got the title track, which is the idea of looking at why people do these things where they're kind of really pushing their own limits. And the main reason is that it's to make them feel alive. So sonically, I feel like this album is a good mix of Distance Over Time and 6 Degrees. Top of the World, I also think, has probably the most succinct songwriting that we've heard in quite a while. I think that was kind of being started on Distance Over Time, but really here they've kind of dialed in, like really important elements of verse and chorus, and The Alien is a great example of that. However, where I think that Distance Over Time might have limited the band a little bit, I feel like they allow themselves to sprawl out a little bit more on A View from the Top of the World. It basically picks up where Distance Over Time left off, and especially Invisible Monster has that sort of like sci-fi, otherworldly feel that we saw at the end of Pale Blue Dot, basically. But like I said, this is a heavy album. There's a track called Awaken The Master, which has an 8-string on it. And, I can't really remember if Dream Theater have ever had an 8-string. I think the heaviest might have been on like Train of Thought when they brought the 7 strings in. But, it's not necessarily just a gimmick. Obviously, Petrucci is such a great guitarist that he makes it work and explores the ideas of what an 8-string could bring. I also think in terms of a kind of cinematic feel, there's a lot more of that this time. It's more kind of like looking at creating a soundtrack and an atmosphere and a vibe, really. There's a lot of groove on this album, particularly seen on Answer the Call, but I think my favourite element of this record is Mangini. His drum performance on here is absolutely brilliant, and I think he's showing his personality more than he has in, 10 years of being with the band. And of course, there's a ballad-like song on the Dream Theater album, which is Transcending Time, which I would say is maybe not quite the strongest song on the album because it does sound like a ground that kind of has been retreaded. However, that then leads me to my favourite track, which is the 20-minute epic album closer, A View from the Top of the World. Whereas A View from the Top of the World recalls more Octavarium than Illumination Theory. I just found like Illumination was a little bit more forgetful, but there's a lot more of a thread that you can kind of follow with this View from the Top of the World, especially the final section when it's like dun, 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 dun. I thought that was really cool. When you reach the pinnacle, the world is at your feet. Chances are, if you're a Dream Theater fan, and especially if you enjoyed Train of Thought, 6 Degrees, Distance Over Time, then I reckon you'll really enjoy this album, just like me. The biggest point of difference, I think, on this album is that Dream Theater is showing that they can pull things back and make things a little bit less complicated, but without sacrificing their sort of virtuoso identity. Nevertheless, it is Dream Theater, so if you haven't liked Dream Theater for many years, you probably won't start liking them now, but with a band 15 albums into their career, I mean, you can't really ask for much more. So thank you ever so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, it would be great if you could hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I will see you next week for another album review. Take care, my friends.